911. Where's your emergency?
This is Alex Murdoch at 4147 Moselle Road. I need the police to answer immediately. My wife and child are shot badly.
Good morning, friends. I hope you're all doing well. I'm Frankie, and this is the Think Tank. So, imagine my surprise going through updates to find out that Alec Murdaugh was looking up local restaurants about 15 minutes after he found his wife and son unalived. So I thought maybe we should take a look at this. Okay. I'm going to put myself down here. Okay, so let's see what this is. Unreal is what it is.
A text from which person to which person?
So this is going to be from Paul Murdaugh, and it's going to be it says voicemail. That's going to refer to Alex. This is obtained from his phone. It's going to be the owner. So that's going to be Paul to Alex.
And what's the date?
The date is going to be May 6, 2021 at 10:52:13 a.m.
And what does it say?
It says, I am still in EB because when you get here, we need to talk. Mom found several bags of pills in your computer bag. This is again from Paul to Alex.
Unreal. Disgraced legal scion Alex Murdaugh looked up a restaurant online just minutes after finding the bodies of his wife and son, records show. Prosecutor in Mr. Murdaugh's double murder trial on Friday presented a timeline of the evening on June 7th, 2021, when both Maggie and Paul were unalived on their property in Arlington, South Carolina. Mr. Murdaugh is accused of executing these unalivings to distract from his growing legal and financial troubles. What a way. Wow. To build a chronology of the events, agents with South Carolina law enforcement, also known as SLED, pulled records from Alex's phone, as well as the victims, the information collected from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. on the day of those unalivings show many interactions between Paul, Maggie, and Alec, as well as other relatives. Now, the report also shows a bizarre search by Alec Murdaugh at 10:40 p.m., 34 minutes after calling 911 and telling them that he had found both his wife and son unalived by the dog kennels. And 15 minutes after the first deputy arrived on the scene, Alec Murdaugh searched Whaley's Edisto in his Safari browser. And this comes from his timeline. The restaurant is in Edisto. Island is nearly an hour and a half away from the location where this happened. Phone records also show that Mr. Murdaugh tried to call his wife twice, once around 6:44 p.m. and again at 9:04. They spoke for 2 seconds about 7 p.m. and later for 18 seconds at 9:04. At 9:47, he texted his wife and said, "Call me, babe." So this message, as we know, went unread. The state previously shared a timeline for these unalivings with the court, saying that Paul was at the dog kennels and at 8:50 and Maggie minutes later for their unalivings. Mr. Murdaugh called Maggie again at 10:03, just 3 minutes before calling 911. He spoke with dispatchers at 10:17, and the first deputy arrived on the scene at 10:25. From the time he hung up the call with 911 dispatchers and law enforcement arriving, Alec called at least 3 members of his family and friends. Cell phone records allegedly place him at the dog kennels minutes earlier when the suspect had told everyone he was never there. He then called his surviving son Buster at 10:44, with the call lasting 8 seconds. So this is from in Safari browser, the extraction, 244 steps from Bluetooth, and okay, I don't know. I don't understand exactly. It's kind of cut off. A caregiver, let's see, SLED reports. SLED also shows a bizarre search by Mr. Murdaugh at 10:40, just 34 minutes after alerting 911 that he had found both his wife and son unalived at the dog kennels. A caregiver to Mr. Murdaugh's mother previously told jurors about Mr. Murdaugh's unusual behavior on the night of the unalivings and in the days following. She testified that he showed up at his sick mother's house between 8:30 and 9:30 on the night of June 7th and left about 20 minutes later. A few days after the unaliving, she testified that Mr. Murdaugh asked her to tell authorities that he was at his parents' house for double the length he was actually there. So if you have seen my last couple videos or lives, when he got to his mother's house that night, he didn't go directly in. He went behind the house and kind of went into some bushes on the property, stayed there for a few minutes, and then came out. What was he doing there? We don't know. He had plenty of time to remove, if he had put something there, plenty of time to remove it, replace it, destroy it. I don't know. Elsewhere in the report revealed on Friday, it is noted that Maggie spoke with his mother and sister, Marion Proctor. So I do believe Marion is her sister. Well, Paul had several conversations on Snapchat. A video pulled from Paul's Snapchat shows him at the dog kennels on the ground of the family estate. 2 other voices were heard in the background. Many witnesses say that those voices were both Maggie and Alec Murdaugh. Another snapshot video recorded by Paul at 7:56 p.m. has become a focal point in the trial, as it shows Murdaugh in trousers, in pants, loafers, and kind of, a blue ombre shirt. Clothing that does not match what he was seen wearing on the police body cam footage. This clothing has never been found. In the body cam footage shown in court last week, the disgraced attorney is dressed in white short sleeve t-shirt. He had a little pocket there and a pair of shorts. Prosecutors have hinted that the lack of items connecting Mr. Murdaugh to the unalivings, such as weapons that have not been found, or the red stuff found only near the bodies and not on his clothing, indicate he cleaned up the crime scene before heading to visit his mother. Of course, Alec Murdaugh denies this. So it is far from the only charges that Alec Murdaugh is facing. He has at least another 100 charges relating to all of those financial situations. He's expected to take the stand in his own defense. I never heard this before. And if Murdaugh can't explain away all the prosecution's evidence, lets slip any incriminating or contradictory statements, or gets defensive or angry, the jury is likely to be very tough on him. Plus, the prosecution can challenge him with prior crimes or inconsistent statements that he has made in the past. But a defendant who appears highly credible can also turn the tide. So what do you guys think of him calling a restaurant after finding his wife and son unalived. I would like to know your opinions on this. I'm thinking everything he has done has been extremely sketchy. So I'm looking forward to next week when the defense starts putting their witnesses on to see if there's any way that he is able to talk himself out of this mess he has gotten himself into. So we'll wait for some updates and see what happens. So this is all I've got right now. I just wanted to put that out because I thought this whole restaurant thing was very incriminating. Let me know down below what you think. So for now, friends, thanks again, and I will absolutely see you in the next one. Bye.